What's up, everyone? It's Malt review time. That's Mikey and Narby. Very excited to do a very special bottle by our very favorite distillery. This is Springbank 30-year-old Millenium edition. So it comes in this nice wooden box. There is the 25-year-old, this 30-year-old, the 35-year-old, 40-year-old, and a 50-year-old to complete the set. So there we go. I'm gonna open this, and they all come in a nice wooden box like this. And here it is. So, Springbank being one of our favorite distilleries, these bottlings being really, really special, is obviously a huge, huge treat for us to be drinking this. Not something we do every day, obviously, but as you can see, this is bottled at 46%. It's just like every Springbank, no chill filtration, all natural color. This is a dark mahogany color. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So,
and this is actually the darkest of the Millenniums. Actually, the 40-50 are quite light. And this is, they say Millennium. The 25, the first one I think came out 98 or 99. This came out 2000, so that's the idea. Right at the turn of the Millennium 2000, Springbank decided to release a very special limited edition, and we'll see how it goes.
all right.
As Narby's mentioned before, it does say on the back, just reading the label a little bit, that Springbank is very old school. You know, they're still a small family distillery, and everything is done in-house. From the malting, the types of flooring they use for the malting, traditional methods, to even some of the barley they use. They had the famous local barley series, and everything they do, the bottling, it's all done in-house. It's very, very special. They take it very seriously. Very quality output.
This is a gorgeous, gorgeous natural color. Nice dark mahogany right here.
Beautiful.
Amber. Just gorgeous. Nice fresh glass here. Legs are nice and thick going down.
Yeah. Looks like a beautiful, like cherry wood, some cherry wood hues. Very beautiful. Check out the nose.
Like, it's bottled at 46%, which has obviously been brought down. There's been, water added to that. But right away off the nose, it noses more like a cask strength whiskey. It's nice and intense. Just thick, resinous cherry. As we've mentioned before, just these cola flavors, they're so unique.
Like we always say, Springbanky, and over time, you watch enough of our Springbank reviews, you know what you mean. Just like Narby said, we keep repeating it. Like, imagine thick, viscous, resinous honey mustard and cola and almost like root beer. This delicious kind of darker, rich flavor set. It's exactly what you're getting. Very Springbanky.
Take that, what Mike said about the honey mustard cola flavor with some really thick, dense, heavy balsamic. Take that balsamic and add quite a bit of brown sugar to it. Add a little cinnamon to it. There's fruity elements to this. There's some dried fruits to this. Even some hints of fresh fruits. There's some papaya.
Yeah, I'm getting some nice like brown sugared or syrupy apricots, like some fresh apricots along with the dried fruits.
I agree, very, very good. There's heavy fig. There's dates.
As you can hear, very, very complex.
There's some very candied fruits that you can't even do, can't even put words to what kind of fruits they are. You want to mention all the fruits you're experiencing, and when you put your nose to it, you know it's fruity. But one of my absolute favorite things about whiskey, where it's just like it's fruits that you haven't even experienced. Like it's fruit, but you have never even tried that fruit, and that's like the coolest thing you can ever experience with these special whiskeys. It's so complex and so unique.
It's like I always say when we get these kind of fruits, imagine that you're Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and God tells you, if you eat this kind of fruit, you're out, you're going to hell. And the fruit is that friggin' good that you can't help but eat it. It's worth it. It's exactly the kind of fruits we're talking about right here. You've never had them, you don't know they exist, but they exist right in front of you. Brand new.
But mainly with these Springbanks, though, like Mike was mentioning earlier, the honeyed mustard, cola, balsamic, that's the main thing that we consistently get from the older Springbanks. And it's the most enjoyable flavor, and it's the reason why it's my favorite distillery. These old style cherried whiskeys have that, especially with Springbank, and nothing beats it to me.
Yeah, and it's almost a bridge, I think, between tropical and orchard fruits to heavy game, heavy meats and caramelized game. And you get a little bit of both, but it's kind of this medium point that you touch on both elements, which are like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I'm getting some black tea as well in here, along with all that. There's lots of different spices in here. There's herbs in here. There's earthiness in here. Being aged for 30 years in these quality sherry casks, you're getting some old leather in here.
Getting a little bit of like antique furniture, like old books or antique furniture. Like you walk into an antique shop and there's all kinds of dust.
Absolutely. You could, the reason why I'm saying absolutely is when you nose this, he mentioned antique, it smells like this has been aged for a very long time, yet the nose is not woody or overpowering in terms of too much of anything. Very, very special.
As you can hear, we can go on forever.
Yeah, go on for absolutely forever. Yeah, I'm trying to slow it down and actually experience each thing as I'm saying it, but we will. Let's go on to the palate.
Sounds good. It keeps changing, it evolves as more air hits it. It's crazy.
Lots of dried fruits. Apricot, papaya, thick mustard, cola, root beer, old. Think of some really special big old wines, some Bordeaux's. Lots of tea, lots of that old furniture that Mike was referring to. Cowboy hat, I'm thinking of cowboy hat, that must be the leather aspect that I'm thinking, but put on a cowboy hat, take it off like a new hat and smell it like a nice expensive leather. When I smell some of these, somebody smell a candle, like a mahogany wood candle, like a scented candle, and you put your nose in there, it's very similar to putting your nose in this, except this is obviously a whiskey.
Like sandalwood. Like those delicious mahogany or sandalwood.
There's cigar in here. There's pipe tobacco in here. There is like mango flavored candy. In specific, I don't know what the brand is, but there's these Japanese chews that you get, and the mango flavor. It's like Japanese candies. Wow.
I remember when we first opened this, there was a heavy, drying woody black tea element that was a little bit of a turnoff. It was kind of the only flaw from it being almost perfect to me. And as more air's got in the bottle, we tried it a few more times. That's gone away a lot, and now there's a very light element of that black tea, but now it's more pleasing. It adds to the whiskey a little bit.
Finish is nice and long. I love whiskeys that are thick on my tongue, and at 46% especially, it's perfect for drinking ABV. It's just thick, and all those flavors just keep staying in the mouth as it's starting to finish with some caramel notes, some toffee and chocolatey notes even as well, a little bit. Not much chocolate, just very, very little in the background. And then it comes back with that cola, that strong vinaigrette. Just incredible. Score-wise, for me, this gets a solid 94 out of 100.
I give it the same thing. I get 94. And just one last thing, the finish. It is. I'd say it's medium to longish finish. It is very thick and resinous. But I'm actually getting, after all that evolution and change, it's going back to the core, and I'm getting like honey mustard malty pretzels, like crunchy honey mustard malty pretzels with the cola and the root beer. So it's still all comes back to that Springbank, traditional Springbank qualities. Phenomenal.
All right, you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Take it easy.